is Amendment 519. That's effective date November 1st, 1995. Amendment Section 2D11.11D, Chemical Quantity Table, deleting listing procedures, inserting therefore 1I, deleting essential, whatever the peer is inserting, listing 2. Section 2D 1.1D, Mandated Supervision 1I9, deleting line referencing from subdivisions. 200G, more of D and L lesser acid. At least 60G less than 200G of tertiary acid. Number 3, at least 200 G less than 60 grams of tertiary acid. 60 grams but less than 200 grams of tertiary acid. At least 20 grams of less than 600 grams of tertiary acid. At least 14 grams of less 200 grams of valeric acid. At least 8 grams less than 14 grams of valeric acid. At least 2 grams of 8 grams of valeric acid. At least 1.6 grams less than 2G arylic acid. That's 1.2G and 1.6 arylic acid. The section amended subdivision asserting the following chemicals formerly listed as predecessor chemicals. Place applicable order by subdivision as follows: benzyl nitrate, benzyl nitrate, benzyl nitrate, and all the chemical occurrence table following chemicals appropriate place applicable order: benzyl nitrate and ephedrine, and ephedrine, and these chemicals for commission for ephedrine and chemical dependency of methamphetamine and hydrants, and then containers of making the methamphetamine from the all the Home Depot and Lowe's, and increments on the back information for the refrigerator and services for their increments for the chemical curing process for their methamphetamines, for their hydrants, for their quality sections, and for the quality service for the hydrants, ephedrines. The amendment notes for a chemical column table for the deleting note as follows: Amendment 519. Number first, United States versus Fitto 733, Supply 1312-1316, Minnesota 1900, Minnesota Act, abbreviations MINN 1990, individual cuttings, planting, intent of growing full-size plants which in growing roots, plants with which common place in Section 841B United States versus Splits, 733F, Supply 1311-1312, Democrat, Minnesota, abbreviation Minnesota MINN 1990, small marijuana plants, cuttings, with roots nonetheless marijuana plants, AFD 93FD, due 188, 8th Circuit, 1991, because of the frequent adds, application notes on commentary 2D 1 point setting forth the definition of plant of guideline purposes. The Sixth Amendment provides equivalence of two controlled substances, that is the level alphabet, the drug equivalent tables and commentary contents. Seventh Amendment deletes distinction between D and methamphetamine and drug equivalent tables commentary. Methamphetamine, which is the rather weak from the methamphetamine, rarely seen as made intentionally by rather results of both batches attempts to both produce methamphetamines in their deficiencies, Lowe's and Home Depot, and also the best byproduct chemicals and deficiencies for the manufacturing equipment. Test manufacturers distribute methamphetamine currently unless methamphetamine specified in testing determined for investigation results over the methamphetamines. Methamphetamines in addition to foreign methamphetamine and the services listed in drug equivalent table listing methamphetamine as separate from methamphetamines. Litigation sells methamphetamines should treated United States versus Carroll. Carol J. Benzel, the court judge for Justice, and Carol and Mr. Dixon, the Superior Court Administration Office here in Andy Miller's office at 509-735-3591. The influence of Andy Miller at C.O. Washington online. United States versus Carroll. 6F3-735 11th Circuit, 1993. Certification denied. 113 South Cincinnati. 8131 Cincinnati Social Security Office. Gage Boulevard, Gage Boulevard. Cincinnati's 114 South Cincinnati 1234, 1994, case of which 11th Circuit held methamphetamine should treated the methamphetamine majority dissenting opinion both points of complexity extravaganted by the current distinction between D and 1-methamphetamine, another independent methamphetamine treated like are thereby simplifying guidance appliance. Oh, it gets better. Better now. Reason for amendments for the proclamated amendment. This is the Amendment 669. Appendix Statutory Reference 18 U.S.C. 1993 8A, asserting 2A 5.2, attempting conspiracy contempt, 18 U.S.C. 1993 A4, A5, or A6 before 2A 6.1. Reason for amendment before a proclamated amendment, Section B3 of 2K 2.1. All lawful receipt, possession, and transport of firearms and ammunition, prohibited transaction involving firearms ammunition. Generally provided, and the two-level enhancements of the offensive and destructive device regarding type destructive device involving amendments, increase enhancements, 15 levels of the destructive device. Ran probably in the Samsung 7, which is a explosive device in many ways at Verizon and Verizon companies here on Wall Street, liquidizing the services to reimburse the city for bearer bonds, care clones, e-bonds, and circulating services, 24-hour service. These man-made paid and services, is not 24 hours. Verizon is not 24 hours, but the Microsoft company is, and Verizon services they can bind into that Windows service is 24 hours, and also the Wall Street increments for your agent-to-agent conversation is 7 days a week. So this scope for amendment corresponds to the types of weapons that have been used overseas. The ability to inflict death or injury to large numbers of persons that fired at an aircraft, train, building, or similar target because of inherent risks such as weapons and facts that legitimate reason process them commission to determine the statutory maximum penalty and possession such device such as the Samsung 7, which I have that title, and that's on the wall at Animal's office, on the laptop and services here for the risk of the public welfare, the risk of the death or injury, bodily injury, destructive device created, Samsung 7, Verizon. Furthermore, in the death of serious bodily injury from the drones and aircraft, and C-17, the Hercules, the Apache, and also the Take Aim, and also the services they have for the Lungem created services for the furthermore fully armored bulletproof vehicles, and that's the gated fenced community by lock and key in the basement. Acceptance and responsibilities for the signees application note 11 application note 8 note 7 adds an initiative upward departures of man-page destructive devices in the case of which two levels enhances such device applicable to capture serious offenses because of the type of destructive device involved. The risk of public welfare and the risk of death and serious bodily injury destructive device created. Furthermore, response to concerns on clearing certain types of firearm quality destructive device guidelines definition of destructive device. Amendment adopts statutory defense. And in 26 U.S.C. 5845F for these conspiracies and statutory definitions, subsequent defense, ammunition, and firearms. Amendments increase in Barela section. This penalties of attempts at conspiracy and the offenses involved in man, pad, similar destructive devices, offenses 18 U.S.C. 3 destruction of aircraft facilities, 18 U.S.C. 19 transcript text, terrorist acts against mass transport systems, 18 U.S.C. 2332A, certain weapons of mass destruction, missions, amendments, and special instructions subdivision 2X 1.1, attempt soliciting conspiracy, covered by special offense guidelines. And the level reduction, 3-level reduction, attempts conspiracies of offenses generally just a contents of mad, pad, similar destructive devices. Following amendments modified statutory appendix 8, reference convicted 18 U.S.C. 1993, related attempts and threats, conspiracy and commencement subject terrorists and offenses 18 U.S.C. 1993 intents. Amendments were refused 2A 5.8, interference of flight crew members, flight attendants, Mr. Barela's way, Felix Barela's way, and Barela's way in any shape and way for interference in dispatching police officers, state patrol units, and operations to maintain station vehicle that will be landing in the area of the vicinity of Adams and also King County and also Franklin County and also Benton County And this rather of 2A 6.1 threatening and harass communications. This is Amendment 672, Amendment Chapter Part K, Subpart Enforced Law 9933A9936. Meal is free in your home. Child Coroner's Office, following the new guideline accepting commentary. Purchasing your own body armor by violent felons, based on level 10, specifying characteristics of tattoo patterns, increments of their drug habits, and converse on their slamming and syringes, and increments of their body use and drug use, and activities for alcohol and firearms with possession and banishing weapons, statutory provision 18 U.S.C. 931, application notes. Gets better.
Yeah, it sounds good. Got enough